Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm making my predictions for the last pay-per-view of the year, AEW's Worlds End. We'll start things off on the 0 hour where our first match will be a 20-man Battle Royal for a chance at the TNT Championship. For Battle Royals, I look at the winner potentially being someone who could be versatile to where they would match up with Copeland or Christian evenly, and it doesn't tip off of who's going to win the match later on in the evening. With no one listed as a participant in this match as this recording, my pick would be for Jay White to win this Battle Royal. After coming up just short in the Continental Classic, getting pinned by Jon Moxley in the three-way against Swerve Strickland, I think Jay White having a shot at the TNT Championship anytime, anywhere could be something fun and could be used in many different ways and could be a nice little thing to keep on Collision, to where it could be a point of, hey, the guy who could be going for the TNT titles is lurking over there on Saturday nights just waiting for you to slip up, whether that be Christian Cage or Adam Copeland holding the title after tonight. So now on to the second match of 0 hour. And that'll be an FTW rules match for the FTW Championship where Hook will be putting the title on the line against Wheeler Yuta. I don't think there's a chance of Hook losing here, and I believe he'll be defeating Wheeler Yuta. Yuta has the ROH Pure title, and that's more than enough for him right now, and I think BCC could be spinning off into something else I'll be talking about later. So I think Hook will be going into this match, defending his title, keeping it, and moving on to something else later down the road. So now on to the main card. And our first match will be for the TNT Championship where Christian Cage will be putting his title on the line against Adam Copeland in a no disqualification match. This will also be the short type video of the pay-per-view that will be going up tomorrow at 9 a.m. so come back to see that. So now on to the prediction. For this match, I think the no disqualification match helps out Copeland a lot here, and it would help him overcome the Waynes and a potential if Kill Switch comes back or Luchasaurus pops up, whatever we'll be doing then. And I think that for the story of Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland, I think Adam Copeland will be defeating Christian Cage and taking over the TNT Championship from him. I think in the long play here, Christian losing the title right now to his best friend in this way could lead to the eventual them coming together to where this spirals Christian even being more crazy, and then him getting pissed at Nick Wayne, that leads to them having a match, and then Christian's down on his luck and his best friend comes to his aid later down the road to where they finally form together to become the tag team that everybody knows and loves to go for those AEW tag titles. So now on to match number 2 of the pay-per-view. And this will be a singles match where we'll see Miro taking on Andrade El Idolo. For this match, I can kind of see it going either way to where Miro loses and then CJ's like, see, I told you, like, I make a difference here. But I think with Andrade, it seems like everyone's rumoring he's going to be out of town here. But I think with Andrade going through the Continental Classic and Miro not going through that, I think that'll take a toll on Andrade, and I think Miro will be winning this match. I think this could be used as like a one-up between Miro and CJ Perry to where it's like, yeah, you're good at what you're doing, but there's still some things like, hey, you made this guy get into a prestigious good tournament, a great thing, but it's going to be grueling and added up, and I'm going to get him to show you, like, hey, I know what I got to do and works for me, and what you did for him probably just hurt him in this, and maybe he should rethink what's going on here. And this could then add and lead to a new client for TJ Perry to go manage to lead to Miro's next feud. So now on to match number 3 of the main card, and that'll be for the TBS Championship where Julia Hart will be putting her title on the line against Abaddon. For this match, I see AEW struck while the iron was hot and put a title on Julia Hart, and I don't think she'll be dropping the title here. I believe she'll be walking in and out of the Nassau Coliseum with the TBS Championship when she defeats Abaddon. As we just saw in this episode of Dynamite, Julia Hart's already set up to face Willow or Chris Statlander again, so this way, boom, she already has her next 1 or 2 feuds set up, or this could be a tag team with her and Sky Blue against Willow and Chris Statlander, and then maybe one of them two become the third member of this woman's duo, making it a trio. And I think for those things to happen and remain top of the card for this women's division and being one of the things people are talking about, she needs to retain her TBS Championship, and I believe she'll be doing that. So now on to our next match, and that'll be the match that people have been waiting for what feels like 693 years, where Swerve Strickland will finally take on Limitless Keith Lee. For me, there's a little bit of reverse logic of the last Swerve Swerve match where I thought, oh, Hangman was done wrong, where he got his house broken into, he's going to win. It's where I think we all kind of feel it that Swerve's the next guy to be in line for an AEW World title. And I think regardless of who wins in the main event, whether that be Samoa or MJF, that Swerve's coming for that belt sooner rather than later, and he's going to take it. So I think for Swerve to just keep this ball rolling and be the hot act that he's been, where everyone's chanting whose house, Swerve's house, he walks in to the Nassau Coliseum and defeats Keith Lee here at World's End. Now I could see this going the opposite way to where the Continental Classic catches up with Swerve and Keith Lee demolishes in here, and then somehow, some way, Swerve's the #1 contender for the World Championship and then wins it, and then him and Keith Lee are the first program for Swerve to defend his title. I think they just got something here in Swerve that you just need to keep feeding him the ball, letting him shoot, and he's going to shoot and he's going to make those shots. And I think that's the way you just keep letting him win, get him to the crown, and you go from there. I think World's End's just another step to Swerve taking the crown away from either Joe or MJF and being the face that runs this AEW place. So now on to match number 7 of the evening. And this will be an 8-man tag match where we'll see Kyle Fletcher and Powerhouse Hobbs team up with the AEW World Tag Team Champions of Big Bill and Ricky Starks to take on Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Sting. I feel like we all know what we're getting in this match. It's going to be a chaos match. Sting's going to jump off of something. If there's a life-size, the Gordon's Fisherman Islander guy mascot rolling around somewhere, like a huge thing, he'll jump off of that. But not a lot of thought going into this. I think Sting's team's winning. The guy's going to retire here in a few months. He's going to win until the end. Nothing crazy here. Maybe Guevara and Jericho like getting a little tussle and they're not all okay. There's a little bit of a friction between the two, but they'll probably get over it and tag up to use that Golden Jets title opportunity to take on Bill and Starks later down the road. But I think Sting's going to get the win here. Definitely his last match at the Nassau Coliseum, and he'll be walking out with the win along with Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin. So now on to match number 8 of the evening, and that'll be for the AEW Women's World Championship, where Timeless Toni Storm will be putting her title on the line against Riho. Now just another instance of AEW striking while the iron was hot in the women's division, where Toni Storm took over with this Timeless run here and they gave her the title and boom, she's running with it. And I don't think she's going to drop the ball here. I think she'll be defeating Riho to retain her title. Now obviously there'll be some type of shenanigans. I think Mariah May could get involved here. Toni wins and then Mariah May takes on Riho for her first match on Wednesday, and then maybe Mariah beats Riho faster and people are like, whoa, wait a minute, this girl is like way better than Toni Storm and just beat Riho without any help a lot faster. Like, what's going on here? And then that eventually could lead to the two colliding for that gold, or maybe a certain former women's champion could be just waiting to return and could be right around the corner to knock Toni Storm back into color. So now on to our co-main event of the evening, the finals of the Continental Classic, where Jon Moxley will be taking on Eddie Kingston to win the Continental Classic and all that comes with it, which is the Ring of Honor World Championship, the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, and the new Continental Championship to make up the North American Triple Crown Championship. So for this match, Eddie Kingston has been on a roll. He's beaten Claudio. He just beat Bryan to prove he's not a bum, and I think the King of the Bums goes through on his BCC spree and he ends and beats Jon Moxley to take all 3 titles here and wins at World's End. With Eddie Kingston being the guy to put up his Ring of Honor Championship and his New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, I think there's just a fitting end to where he was buried, he was almost in the hole, to where he lost his first 2 matches, and then just out of the gate, like we've seen in football where teams just get on a streak where people are like, uh-oh, here he comes. Like we hear it with the Bills now. Some other team we heard about it for a little bit that we'll probably see clips about tomorrow on this channel, but we don't talk about that, to where he's just going to go on this streak and he's going to hoist all 3 titles. The man put up 2 and he's going to come out with 3, and it's just going to be a great thing to see, to where maybe the BCC starts pointing fingers at each other being like, uh-oh, we got to do something. Like Eddie just ran through all of us in a week and a half span. Like, what's going on here? And I think Eddie would probably put one of the titles up on the line on the next Dynamite, and he'll just be going through just being the defending champion he is, where we could probably see one title defended on Wednesday, the other one defended on Collision on Saturday, and then just switches every week to what title's on the line. And Eddie Kingston starts bringing more and and more prestige, and we see what the first winner of the Continental Classic does in his first year, in his first run. So now on to our main event of the evening. For the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, MJF will be putting his title on the line against Samoa Joe. With tonight's event and what we've been seeing and hearing week after week, I think the reign of MJF will be ending here at World's End, and Samoa Joe will become the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. With MJF allegedly having a bad shoulder, and who knows if he's telling the truth or if we have the truth, because with MJF, who knows what the truth is and what isn't the truth. But I think the question everyone will be asking is, will we see the Devil at the end of this pay-per-view? And I think there's more of a symbolic thing just for me to see him on Wednesday come up. But my thinking is, if you want the Devil booed, he debuts on Saturday. If you want the Devil to potentially be cheered or leave it in the we don't know what we're gonna get, you do it on Wednesday. But I feel like regardless of where it's debuted and that man unmasked and who's around him, I believe the Devil's definitely Adam Cole, especially with the thanks for doing business, and then Samoa Joe cracks MJF with the chair. Who got Joe into the spot to be the half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions? It was the man who had a exploded ankle, and a man who got into the ring at the end of Full Gear to have a match with Jay White until MJF hijacked an ambulance and came back to defend his title. It was all Adam Cole, and I think he's the puppet master of all this, and I think we'll probably see the Kingdom, Wardlow, maybe Kyle O'Reilly's in this, and that'll be the group that Max is going to be feuding with. If he is staying, which I think he is, that'll be his feud when his shoulder recovers, and we'll see what happens with the Devil in the in-between. But I think at the end of World's End, Samoa Joe will be getting it from the Long Island faithful and will be taking the AEW World Championship home with him. So that'll do it for my predictions for World's End. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., Christian versus Adam Copeland hype video short. That'll be coming up. Also, Broncos franchise shorts will be going all the way till January 6th, and then that'll be it for the Broncos franchise. That franchise ended, and I'll be getting a new team that'll be showing up on the 7th. We'll see what we get. Hopefully it's a good one and one that people like. So be on the lookout for those. Also, like I said before, the Christian versus Copeland hype video, that will be up in 24 hours from when this video goes up. So if you're interested in that and want to see more, you can be kept up to date, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like what I'm doing on this channel and see more, hit the subscribe, ring the bell if that's still a thing. There will be videos and shorts coming up on this channel every day, a video or short coming up, mostly shorts coming up on this channel every day for the next few weeks. Potentially some bonus stuff depending on how games go on Monday. And if there's a miracle in the NFL that puts a certain team with a horse on the helmet some way, somehow, into the playoffs behind a Stid man. So be on the lookout for those videos down the road. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.